Now, we say released. Their contract was not renewed. That goes for R-Truth. That goes for our next subject as well, Carlito. So a couple
Yeah.
of hours after R-Truth made the announcement WWE not renewing his contract, Carlito announced that his WWE contract was also not going to be renewed, and he would officially be a free agent very, very soon. So the quote is, "My contract is up in 2 weeks. It will not be renewed. And on top of that, WWE demanding I pay back the money they paid me for apparently stealing money from them. I've had lawyers look into it, and after reviewing my footage on Netflix for the past few months, they suggested that I pay them back the money. All jokes aside, gracias WWE and especially the WWE Universe, Los Quiero Mucho, P.S. I'll reappear again in another 13 years. Dios me los bandeja," which is go with God. So, Carlito also not being renewed.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, they didn't do that. They didn't do anything with him anyway. And he got 2 years out of him at good money. Well, let me ask you this. Are they even running the house show loops anymore? They're not doing it.
Barely. They might do.
So those guys are sitting back and making a minimum, I heard, $350 a year. And most of the time just going to TV.
Mm-hmm. Carlito was barely doing that because he was... I mean, he did do some house shows as well because there was more in 2023 when he was re-signed. But he wrestled, on average, over 2 years on television or broadcast, whatever it was, once a month. He was just a guy in a group, and he was entertaining. But they didn't explore anything they could do with him, quite frankly.
Well, what a job if you can get it. Hey, one time the Iron Sheik, he was in you heard the story?
Oh, yeah, we've told it, yeah.
WCW? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tell it again.
No, they weren't booking him any, and I think somebody called and want to know about his what was going on with him. What happened is they forgot his contract was coming up. They forgot it, and it rolled over, I think, another year or 2 years, and they didn't even book him. And I don't know what he was making back in those days, but let's say he's making 200.
I know he was making 125 a year. So over the course of 2 years and barely any matches, he made $250,000.
Yeah, okay. And he made $250,000 and didn't leave his house. That was one of the deals with Lanny Poffo too, because when they wanted to sign Randy got Lanny a contract and you never saw him.
4 years. He got $150,000 a year. Yeah.
Not bad.
So Carlito was and still is heavily featured in storylines on WWE Raw as part of Judgment Day, but he was always the guy who, had a quip at the end of it kind of thing. And he was also with the LWO. I nearly said BWO. The LWO in its, reintroduction with Rey Mysterio. He got a huge ovation. When he came back at Backlash, the one in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago. Huge ovation, with Bad Bunny and Savio Vega and all that kind of thing. People were really happy to see him. A couple of years before that, he made a couple of appearances during the COVID era in, I think, a Royal Rumble. And like a week after, 2021. And I asked him afterwards, why didn't you re-sign with WWE? And he went, they didn't offer me enough money. Mm-hmm. So, he knows his value. He knows he can make good money on the indies. But my point also is why have WWE fired two of the funniest wrestlers? Like two of the most entertaining guys?
That is the conspiracy, I think. Let's say they're funny. That's what they have in. Hey, Carlitos, he's funny as hell. But if you just talk to him, he's not the type who just, but when he says something or does something, it's kind of humorous. So, but yeah, both of them within weeks of each other, all of a sudden WWE said, well, just, how old is Carlitos?
Mid-40s,
he's got to be around 40,
maybe?
right?
Yeah, I think in his 40s, yeah.
Yeah. I remember when he first broke in, I worked this angle for him. You know, I wanted Carlos. I was telling Carlos one day, I said, why don't we get Carlitos in? He said, nah, I don't want him in the business. He said his mother doesn't want him in the business. But, you know, when you hear that, you say, you know, that's. So I finally, and I talked to, he was running the camera. That's what he was doing. And I said, hey, you want to get in the business? And he told me, he says, no, not really. Because he's a laid back type of guy. Just he don't get excited about nothing. And you talk to him, he said, yeah, whatever. So I worked this deal where I busted him in on an angle. And from then on, he was red hot. And because, of course, the last name Colon helped him, especially in Puerto Rico. And we had him in the main event, and he was still going through training classes. That's what we were doing. But he was drawing money. Hell, the fans didn't know it.
You know that he went back to Puerto Rico and won their title, like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, just recently against
your man Ray Gonzalez.
Ray Gonzalez, yeah. My buddy.
Yeah, we need to watch the video actually. So I'm going to actually tee up the video. Just 1 second. So yeah, I think I said this before. Puerto Rico always has like the weirdest venues, and why is there so much space around the ring?
They just don't put chairs on the floor, I guess. I don't know why.
Is it to keep fans from running in, or give them, you know, people a head start or something?
It used to make sense not to put those people that close because they really wanted to hurt you. So they decided not to put chairs on the floor anymore and let them sit in the stands. And hey, they don't have to have a reason in Puerto Rico. They just do it. It's whatever they do. That's what they do. Sometimes for no reason. And you can't get an answer from them either. If you ask them, they go, well, you know, and that's the answer. And you can't get an answer from them. I think this is in Caguas.
It is. I'm going to tell you where it is. It's Bayamon.
Oh, Bayamon.
Bayamon, excuse me.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if this is a fan thing. This is from Lucha Libre Online, by the way. It seems actually on the side, seems to have a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually good. It's just a really
got about 2,000 there. 2,000, 2,500.
There you go.
See, if I was booking it, it would be packed out.
And the thing is, you're right. That's the thing. But yeah, now Carlito is the main champion in WWC, is the WWC Puerto Rican title holder. So there you go.
Well, I wish them luck. Because when they get something warm down there, the people do come. They will show up.
What do you think Carlito's going to do next? Do you think he's going to stay with his dad down there? Do you think he's going to go do the Indies, retire?
He'll be there for a while. And where does he live? Miami?
No idea. Somewhere warm, I know.
Yeah, I think he's in Florida somewhere.
I think when I talked to him, he might have been in Texas for some reason.
Man, he could be anywhere. I don't think he's not married though, right?
Don't know. I don't think so.
Well, more power to him. So,
yeah. So you think he's going to stay in the business then after this?
He'll stay in the business like he did before. He'll just take this here and over there, and because he saved the first dollar he ever made. He's tighter than hell, so he doesn't spend money. And yeah, he's got money and he's enjoying it.
Good for
More
him.
power to him.